authority metric is. So that's why I look at page authority, because that's where my link is actually at.
Matt is asking, are you saying to 301 a spammy site to a tier 1, are you creating from the site to a tier, or is that the same thing?
I think he has to condense that question down because I don't know how to answer it.
Okay, Matt, can you ask that question again? We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Okay, Norbert is asking, what if I point to a spammy site to more than one of my Web 2.0s? Does it help more?
Like, I'm assuming you're talking about outbound links. I do, well, because I have 100,000, I could do like 2 outbound links on a site with no problem. If I mean, ideally you want to do something like 10. If you're talking about doing a video blog, ideally, you would do 10 links. So 10 separate Web 2.0s, not like 10 inner pages of one Web 2.0. It would be 10 separate ones.
John is asking, why not just buy a brand new domain versus an old spammy porn or drug site?
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, but I like, the only reason why you wouldn't do that is if you don't want to wait 1 to 2 months for the page authority to get to where it's at. If you want it to do it now, then you're going to have to buy a domain. If you don't care and you want to wait 2 months, then go ahead and buy a new one. That's the only difference.
Scott is asking, do you buy domains using your real name?
Yeah, what I do is I always buy on Namecheap. Namecheap has a private whois, and I turn private whois on everything. So I always buy them in one account. I mean, I don't have a problem someone finding my domain and what my name is. That doesn't really bother me. You're going to have footprints, so I think that I would be more nervous about buying it off like a fake name or something. I know people do it. I don't do it that way.
Janet is asking or saying that there is also prpowershot.com. Are you familiar with them?
I only used them a few times. I think that they have the same type of filter, so whatever sites you guys like, really just stay with the metrics that I stayed with or find the metric that you are comfortable with. But yeah, that's another site.
Dave is asking, are you hammering these sites naked?
Yep. I don't put content on them. I get the page authority that I want, and then I move them into a different RankWiz account, and I use it, for my Web 2.0 or for my my linking for my money sites and my embeds and all that kind of stuff. But it's naked at first, yeah.
How many do you send for a first project?
For a first project? How many links?
I imagine that's what Larry is asking.
So I would probably send maybe, depends upon the page authority. So, I mean, like if I had a page authority of like 50s, I would send 10 and wait a few days and see where it pops in at, and then I would go from there.
Ron says, why the video blogs?
Because Google is giving, Google loves videos right now. They're so in love with the Hangouts, and they're so in love with YouTube that's why I make a video blog. I just think that it's going to pass a review more than an article network is.
Okay, several people are asking about the recording from yesterday. We're having GoToWebinar difficulties, and it will be up eventually. We're just having a little bit of trouble with it, and it will be working out soon. How do you set up a video blog, Holly?
If you're doing it like on the RankWiz, I already pretty much did the video on that. Just go back and watch that. If you're doing it on a private network, So you would put you would get some kind of like a WordPress theme. You know, I mean, you can do like video themes. They have video themes out there. You would have to do some searches, and you can schedule it out. So you can schedule like one embed an article every hour, or you know, something like that. I would do something like one every few hours if you don't have that many PBNs to use. But you would want to do it on WordPress. You've got to find a WordPress video blog theme.
Teddy Gray is mentioning that Host9 gives you 55 IPs per reseller account.
Is it for each reseller? So if I have a reseller 2, do I get 110?
That's the way he made it sound.
100. What's 55 plus 55? That's not 110. Is it Friday yet?
Soon. Jim Reynolds is saying, I have Host9. Can he create different DNS servers?
He says what? What did he say?
He says, I have Host9. Can you
Okay.
create different DNS servers, or do you mess with that at all?
No, I mean, yeah, you can. You just go into like modify. I think you go into modify the account. Let me check real quick. And then you can change your name server. I don't do that. I did do that. That was another thing that they said to do, and I did it. Didn't matter. Where's Host9? Yeah, so in the name server right here, you can just pick what you want your name server to be, and then when you go to like Namecheap, then you have to register the name server. They have tutorials on it. It's really, really easy to do, but that's where it would do it. And you can actually do that in GoDaddy too.
Carrie Duke is asking, with RankWise and Web 2.0s, how do you remove links if a client stops paying?
You can't remove the links unless you're going to go do it manually. So what I do is I will buy a domain, and that's related a little bit, and send my links to my domain, and 301 my domain to my client domain. So if he stops paying, that domain is shut off, and his drops in 24 hours, and he will be back to order again. That's the only way you can control it.
Janet is asking if you have everything on Host9, and she says apparently that can be traced. Is it suspicious to have all your sites with the same hosting company?
No, I mean, you don't have to. You can put 20 on Host9. You can put 20 on HostGator, 20 on like Indian Nets or wherever. You know, there's so many different hosting packages. I like it all just in one area. That's just for me. You guys just got to find what you like to do.
Steve is asking, when you build Web 2.0s, you then send GSA links to them?
Yes.
Brian is asking, you can set up or block in the htaccess file if you want to block spiders. Oh, he's just giving us a pointer here.
Yeah, you can block them, but you're not going to be able to block every single one of them. But you can try to. I mean, if you're really worried about that, go ahead and do that. I can't do a training on it because I have tried it before and I couldn't get it. I just can't do that. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how to do it.
Jen is mentioning that Spider Spanker may not be 100% secure, but it is better than nothing. Or she is asking if it's better than nothing.
Yeah, if you're worried about your competition, definitely go ahead and use it.
Do you build links to the main domain of the Web 2.0s?
I build links to the main domain, and I pull out the links that posted also, and I'll build links to what's been posted too. So I'll have projects for both of them.
Matt is asking, are the videos you use for the blogs scraped from YouTube? Or are you creating them for clients?
You want to say that again?
Are the videos you use for the blogs scraped from YouTube, or are you creating them for clients?
I'm creating them for clients.
John is asking, why do you buy domains then if using all the RankWise blogs and socials?
I just to give you guys another option, if you didn't want to do the Web 2.0s and you guys wanted to do hosted PBNs, I just wanted to cover that as a option for you guys.
Carol says, wouldn't you use a private DNS on host 9?
No, there's no reason to. It's not going to save you from, if they are going to come in and de-index you, they're going to de-index you. It does not matter if you have separate IPs or separate name servers. If you give them a reason to come look, they're going to come look. So I did it. It didn't save me. If, you know, the whole thing is if you guys want to do that, that's fine. It's just, I did that. It didn't save me, so I won't do it again. Some people, you know, like Greg Wells, I know he does stuff like that. And I know he has huge networks, and he has separate name servers, and, you know, I don't know if he has separate IPs, but it works for him. I lost $30,000. I won't do it again. That's why.
Janet is also asking, do you split your sites between host 9 and HostGator, and any factors to choose which sites go where, or is it arbitrary?
You just kind of pick and choose. There's no, like, you know, I pick first 5 go here, first 5 go there.
Alex is asking, do you use your own content option on RankWise, or do you also use their scraper for content, or both?
I use my own article because I want to control where my link is at. The syndicated articles are fine. I just want to have my link in the second sentence because on some of the Web 2.0s, it only shows a blurb. So if it only shows a blurb, I need to have it in the first 2 sentences.
Okay, I have several asking if you're willing to sell good GSA lists.
Yes, we actually were talking about that today. I think I'm not sure if we're going to have it out by Saturday, but we're going to try to, in Saturday's webinar, we're going to try to have a page up and a link. I think what we're going to, I don't want to like say for sure or anything, but what I think we're going to do is have a monthly subscription where I can upload the links on like wherever you're going to log in to get them, probably the same place. So it is being talked about, and it's probably going to be done, but we just have to kind of put our heads together on how we want to do it.
Alex is asking if there is any way to connect RankWise with GSA and how to export his network account logins from RankWise.
You cannot like connect the two at all. If you're trying to connect because of like articles, you would want to use something like Content Machine. If you watch the webinar from yesterday, you can see why, because Rolly actually has me click on a couple things so you'll be able to see why you do it. If you're trying to get out your accounts to put in GSA, it's really easy. Let me go to RankWise.
Can the dead blog scraping be done on GSA?
Can the blog scraping be done in GSA? You can do scraping on GSA, but GSA really is, you want to use it for posting. If you're using it for scraping, you're kind of like wasting your resources. Whoever asked how to export GSA's blogs, so you go to your network, the network name, click on blogs, click on this export right here, and then save the file. Then what you want to do is open that file in CSV format, and it's going to make column A, B, and C. A is your URLs, B is your username, and C is your password. So that way you can just copy out all your URLs the quick way.
Is there a way to check what a domain was penalized for?
Is there a way? Well, no, there's not. I mean, if you want to do it like a dirty way, you could buy the domain and redirect it to your competition and see if he drops. Like, I've done that before, but I mean, that would probably be the only way to see.
Do you diversify name servers for the domain name PBN?
No.
What is the overall strategy with the PBN in terms of how much can we blast them to money sites, etc.?
You want to ask that again?
So what
is the overall strategy?
Is the overall strategy with the PBN in terms of how much can we blast from them to money sites?
I mean, you really need to just start off with 10 to 20 and leave it a few days and see where it comes in. You know, if it only comes in at like number 4, add another 10 to 20. If it only comes in, and then, you know, if it only comes in at number 1 or at page 1, then you can back it off and only just bring in 3 a day or something like that.
Elias says Majestic SEO or Ahrefs.
I use Ahrefs. I don't use Majestic.
You have some cool place you can drop some high page authority Web 2.0s to sell for quick money.
Not really. I mean, I created, you know, I have a list of people who have previously bought from me, so I just email that. You would have to go to forums, really. That's where I came up with selling mine.
Where or how do you use SEMrush in your process?
I don't use SEMrush. If you used it, you would just be looking at yours, what keywords that the website ranks for. That would be the only thing you use it for.
Do you first build up the PA for your Web 2.0 and then posting content, or do you start right away to post content?
I do the naked content, yeah. I don't put content on until it ranks.
How many links can you put on each Web 2.0 page?
You know, I mean, you're going to want to do like something like 10.
Okay, Matt is asking, when you were saying you are sending the spam site to your tier 1, are you doing it as a 301?
The spam site? No, because I'm sending it to my Web 2.0, so I don't need to 301 it. It's going to go to a Webby. It's going to go to like, it's not going directly to my money site, so I don't need to.
Carrie asks, how do you keep track of all of this?
I have lots of spreadsheets. I have spreadsheets with like the domain names, like the private ones that I do have. The private, I have spreadsheets of the URLs and the username passwords to log into the servers and what links I have on them. And then RankWiz pretty much, I mean, I can just click on the submission and look at it. But Excel's my favorite. I mean, I use that. I have a lot of spreadsheets.
Janet is asking if you will clarify if starting with a brand new domain, is it simply RankWise plus GSA that pumps up the PA in a matter of weeks?
It's just GSA. You don't have to use RankWiz for it. RankWiz doesn't, I mean, it will get maybe like some PA on it, but not as fast as GSA will.
What
You
impact
can
does
use
the
SENuke too if you want, by the way.
What impact does the hammering have on your VPS? Can you hammer the Web 2.0s in the same VPS that you use for video boosting?
Yeah, I mean, you just set up another project. That's all you do. Set up another project, and where you guys see me put the URLs, you just swap out those URLs for your Web 2.0s. That's, yeah.
Elias is asking, are you hammering for PA only, generic anchor texts, and let it run for a full month?
It kind of depends on what I want to use it for. I do like, I do some generic, and I do some naked, and some I just do the branded URL. It depends on what the purpose is.
Do you diversify registered names in the registrar?
Nope. I do it in my own account.
Are all of your video blogs actually Hangouts or regular YouTube videos?
I do both. I like doing Hangouts because they're more powerful, but yeah, I do rank regular YouTube videos too.
So on the video blog, each entry contains the video embedded that you are trying to rank?
Yeah, each one of them does.
Host 9 requires an SSL with every IP as a reseller, plus $2 extra per month for $18.85 a month, Tom is mentioning.
I don't know what reseller you have, but I have a reseller the level 2. I have no SSL, and I pay nothing extra for IPs. So you might be on a different level than I am.
Brian Peterson is offering a tip. He says there is a little ninja trick for host 9. If you change the size of an account, you can squeeze a new IP out. After you resize the account to normal size, he says it works like a charm.
I don't know why I would send you a new IP just because you changed the size of it. Because normally you just have to migrate it.
So again, Larry is asking how you protect against hackers.
He's asking what?
How do you protect yourself against hackers?
For like a PBN? I mean, I don't have problems with hackers. I've never had a site hacked. I don't do anything different. I mean,
Carrie is asking if you're interested in sharing more of your bonus about gaining new video ranking clients from sites like DataSpheres. For example, what exactly do you say that allows you to gain 10 new clients in a day?
well, I don't come out saying I'm going to rank your video for like several $100s because I know that they're probably not going to go for it. So I will lowball them because I don't need to. If that's a salon, I'm going to have to place like 4 links for them. So I'll come up with $250. I don't care what people think it is too small, but it's $250 a month, and I only had to do 4 links from them. I never have to go back and look at it again. So I go probably lower than most people do for those type of sites because the video is already made. I don't have to do any extra work for it. So I don't come and say, I'll rank your video for $1,700 a month or for $1,000 a month because I think they paid $1,200 to get the video made. So I guess I'd rather take 10 clients at a lower cost because I know I don't have to do a lot of work for them.
Okay, Janet is saying that she knows that you mentioned you train students and friends to post Hangouts. But other than that, which part of your business do you outsource, if at all?
I don't outsource any of it. The only thing I do outsource, and that was just the last couple weeks, is that I have students running the Hangouts that I make spreadsheets for it, and each student does, like, they'll do the title, then I'll send it to the next student, and they'll do the streaming and send it to the next student, and they'll do the editing in YouTube and send it to the next student, and they'll make my Excel file, and then it goes to my GSA guy, and he'll put it in GSA, and then it goes to me to verify everything's done right. But I don't outsource anything, and that's because I'm a control freak. I don't like having too much of it out there. I need to control it.
Matt would like to know if you recommend building your own lists for GSA or just purchasing them.
I do. Even as many lines or lists as I have, and I have, like, in that one file that I showed you guys, I have 150,000 files in just that folder. That is not even what I pulled off on my other servers this last couple months because I've been too busy. So even though I have that many, I still buy lists, and I have my favorite sellers that's in the resource file in the Facebook group. One of them is Trevor. He's got phenomenal lists, very, very good. I mean, it's like 40,000, I think, something like that. And he also has a Skype group, which is nice, so we can, like, talk about GSA together. And then I buy Ron's lists also. And then I buy Ryan's lists. Ryan's list, I always buy his lists. His lists are very good, too.
Kenny would like to know if you just rank your YouTube videos, or do you also rank your channels?
I don't know. I mean, it works by doing a channel, but I don't know if it will rank. It'll rank as fast as ranking the actual video. I think I should do a case study on that because everyone's saying to do channels and playlists. I don't even know how to set up a playlist because I'm not a YouTube person, besides just making the random videos and ranking. But I don't use YouTube, so I couldn't actually even find my channel when I first started doing this. That's how bad this is. So I should do a case study. Somebody in the Facebook group remind me, post it on Facebook tomorrow if they can, and I'll set up a campaign for it tomorrow.
Thank you, Holly. Just to mention, I have sent a lot of links at specific channels, and whenever I post a video, then they rank really well without sending any links.
Because I think that your channel can get page authority on it. Like my AC repair channel, the page authority is a 75 for the YouTube channel, which is god-awful strong, which is probably why it dominates so much. And I would guess that my channel is strong, but I don't know. I've never even looked.
Okay, Carol is asking for host 9. You just choose a different location. It will always give you a different IP.
Do you want to say that again?
If you choose a different location when you're hosting with host 9, will it give you a different IP?
Yeah. Like each location, I mean, every time you add a site, it gives you a new IP. In my file, I write the IP down too. So yeah. Every time you add a site, even if you always go to Central, or even if you always go to, like, West or whatever, you're going to get a different IP. Eventually, you're going to have a duplicate, though. So you just got to watch that. I migrate it if I get the same IP. Or if I can't migrate it, I delete it, and I just put it back in.
Okay, Kenny Salter is asking about Rank and Bank, which Derek mentioned on his webinar previous to this one today. He wants to know if you're coming out with a different course, but that was a bonus, Kenny. A previous product that Derek had produced and was offering as a bonus to purchase Holly's course.
Yep. I'm not coming out with another course after this one. I mean, we're going to do the verified list. We're talking about the do it for you. which my team can handle that perfectly fine. But I won't be doing another training course, not because I don't like doing it, but because my I like ranking sites. That's what I like doing. I like doing the training, but I like ranking sites.
Okay, Brian Peterson is asking, it's because when you set up a new account on host 9, sometimes they assign the same IP, but making the size of the accounts like 1,000 MB, you force host 9 to find a server within their cloud that has space available, and that's why you get a new one.
Okay, I'm going to have to try that.
Okay, Elias is saying, what's your exact linking strategy for your Web 2.0 PA packs that you sell on page authority pumping?
I'm not going to tell you that. That I'm not going to tell you because I make a good amount of money monthly, so that is something that I'm not going to talk about.
When you put 4 links into a video that the customer owns, how do you control if they stop paying? Does turning off the links work that fast?
Yeah, we just discussed that. That's when you do the 301. You can 301 to a video too. You just turn it off. I send it through my indexer so that Google will come and see it, that domain is not 301 anymore. And yeah, it drops that fast. Like I had a Hangout video ranked number 2 for appliance repair in Las Vegas, and I got into I don't want to say legal problems, but I needed to remove it, so I wasn't going to get into a legal problem with the client. And as soon as I deleted it, it was off. It was off Google. It didn't even rank on page number 2 anymore. Like within, I mean, as soon as I hit delete, it was gone. So kind of works the same way.
On a typical day or week, what do you spend most of your time doing in regards to SEO?
Well, I restart my servers. I have currently 35 servers, so I work like 15 hours a day. So when I get up in the morning, that's what I do first is I restart every single server. And I restart it just because of memory problems sometimes, and it's just I'm so used to doing it. I restart every single one of them, and then I restart whatever program was running, like GSA or scraping, whatever the program is. And that takes a good couple hours sometimes. And then, you know, I check my rankings. Most of my time is verifying that my Hangouts are all like are in, you know, that each high school kid did their part right, and I don't have to go back and change it. I don't deal with clients directly, so that's not even an issue for me. It's just the back end of it that I have to take care of.
Jim is asking if you will tell us your metrics again for the PR sites.
Excuse me. Your page authority is 30, your domain authority is 20, and your Moz rate at least 2.5.
Jordan is asking, how do you avoid dealing with clients without outsourcing?
I have a sales guy. I actually have a lot of different JVs that I'm doing with for lead generation because I can rank stuff sometimes too quick for my main sales guy. So I do the ranking, and if I'm in a JV, they do all the selling and they deal with the clients. I pretty much do like I tell them how I want the billing done, and I control the phone calls and everything on my computer, and I'll send them a Dropbox or whatever. But I don't deal if it comes to me and I have to deal with a client, it's not ever a good situation because usually it's because like they don't pay and I don't put up with. I mean, we bill them on the 1st, they're due on the 5th, they don't pay on the 5th, it comes to me on the 7th, by the time it comes to me, I want it turned off and directed at their competition. I don't have patience for people that can't like follow through on simple things. If I'm making you $25,000 a month because of leads, there's no reason why you can't pay me my $3,000 bill. So by the time it comes to me, it's just never a good situation, and I don't like having to call clients. I mean, I'm not always a nice person. Just isn't a good situation. That's why, that's only all the solution I suppose I do.
Do you always use GSA and rank-wise, or do you sometimes use just GSA when the competition is low?
The competition is hard. Like GSA is going to take you, I always say GSA is going to take you so far. Rank Whiz is going to take you so far. FCS is going to take you so far. You have to add in more stuff if you can't get it to move. So, you can add in questions and answers. I like question and answer. You can add in Fiverr gigs for manually forum postings. You can add in XRunner if you know how to use XRunner. By the time it comes to XRunner, I mean, I would kind of question if you're doing your research right if it's not come in by then.
Janet says she hasn't heard you mention C-class IP. Is that part of your decision-making process if you decide to get a new IP, or is C-class IP not as important as what everyone says?
I did have the C-class IPs with, actually I had A, B, and C with Indian Nets. I had a whole, it did not, it didn't save me. I mean, there's big people that do it, it's taught to do it. So, I mean, you can do that.
Okay, this is the last question in my list. Matt is asking, what are the biggest learning hurdles that he will encounter while learning to do better with SEO?
It actually has nothing to do with SEO. It actually has my family life because I have 4 kids. My kids, my 17-year-old, I would like to get him into doing SEO, which he's computer smart. Like he made a Skype bot that spam saying, "Hi, Mom," like every 10 seconds for 3 hours. It totally aggravated me, but he thought it was funny. So, it's hard for me to walk away from working when I work 15 hours and I have 4 kids and I have a wife and we go camping and we take trips. So it's not like SEO is like I go to sleep and I think about SEO. I wake up and I think about SEO. So it's hard for me to bring my family into that because they don't understand how time consuming it is. I can't level it out. So in that sense, SEO is not hard for me. I taught myself how to do SEO. I bought courses and I took out what I thought was important and I tried it, and I had big success with it. But it's bringing in the other part of my life that is hard.
Are your Web 2.0 outbound links randomized? And if so, what is the percent?
So my Web 2.0s, I'll have different submissions going to different sites because I have so many. I just do one-time blast, and when it gets to 1,600 or whatever, I just shut it off. So chances are it's not going to hit the same blog. I mean, when you have that many, it's fine. If you start off small, I still do one-time blast, and it hits every site. But I mean, I haven't had any problems with that.
When I mentioned that was the last question, I had a sudden flurry, so there's a few more now. Dave is asking, are your Web 2.0 outbound links randomized? Well, I asked that. How does the Web 2.0 blogs factor in when you're trying to rank a website versus a video? Clint is asking.
The only way I factor in it is that I want, like sometimes I can't get it to come in a couple weeks, which is funny to most people because I want it to come in. So if I can't get it to come in, then I'll do a blast out at embed campaign, and that's where the Web 2.0s come in. I'll blast out like a bunch of PA 50s or 60s and see if I can get it to come in that way.
Janet is asking if you ever have time to take a vacation, or are you totally essential to day-to-day operations?
We actually took a vacation this last in June, and Austin, pick him up. And then we went for 4 days. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Wisconsin, but we went to Door County, and Door County is like literally on the lake. And I had no internet for 4 days, and I brought my computer because I was like, I'm going to work, and I had no internet for 4 days, and oh my God, it was so bad. It was so much fun because we went on the boat, and I got sick, and I was like horribly sick because I don't do good with motion sickness apparently, and it was fun. I didn't have a lot of things to worry about, and it was okay for 4 days, but yeah, I go on computer. I mean, I take camping, my computer goes with me. If like I go pick up my kids, my phone goes with me. Yeah, I don't get away from it, and I love it so much that it doesn't bother me. But my family, they're like, "Are you gonna put it away because we want to watch a movie or whatever?" So it's always with me.
Ron is saying he'd like to know if you assess the competition's PA strength to know how much PA you need to send to your money sites.
Yeah, if I'm not ranking after a couple of weeks, I'll look at their PA. But that's not a first thing that I look at. I might go back and be like, oh, like the appliance repair, I was at number 2. And he had like a PA of a 48, and I had a PA of a 49 with my video, and he had a website. And I think that I worked on that for, I want to say it was like 6 weeks. And I wasn't able to take over the #1 spot in that 6 weeks, even if I was running links. So I didn't, have the opportunity to keep on trying because I had to take it down. I could have rung in my Web 2.0 link or do some other stuff, but I didn't have the opportunity to do that.
What do you use to track the PA of your PBN and Web 2.0s?
I always use a site, SEOsranksmart.com/tools. If you go to MozRank API updates, it tells you when your PA updates. It updates usually once a month. So when it updates, I export my list of what ones I need to know. Like once it gets in the 50s, I don't really check it after that. So if there are new ones that I just bought, then I'll put them into there. Or put them into that SEO Rank Smart.
Janet is asking, how exactly do you work with your salesperson? Do you pay only commission? And if so, what percent?
He does, it kind of depends on what he can get it for. Austin, pick him up. Usually we'll do like a commission, like maybe like a 30%. It kind of depends upon what he wants to. Like the air conditioning ones, the lead calls are like between 45 and 55, which we way lowballed it, and we're in a contract, so I can't get out of it right now. So on that, he's getting 30%. But like an attorney, I would guess that we're going to do 50% because he has to deal with an attorney, and he has to deal with them calling saying, it depends on what the client is, and if it's like a needy type client, like a doctor would be a needy type client, he would get 50%. An air conditioner is not needy. They don't, in most cases they're not needy, so 30% would be fine. Depends on what he has to do on the back end of it.
We seem to come to the last of the questions, Holly.
That's good because my voice is so like wonderful right now.
Well, I think we've pretty much thoroughly covered what you planned on covering tonight, and we're going to be doing some more webinars, right?
Yeah, we're doing one on Saturday, and that's when we're going to figure out about the verified GSA list. So Saturday is the question and answer. And then the course is done then. Yeah.
9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah. I don't know if we have to have a separate, I don't know if we have a separate link for that or not. We might have to have Tony send it out. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk to him.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for attending, and glad you were here. And I learned an awful lot tonight. I'm so excited to be involved with Holly. My goodness, there isn't anybody that is teaching what she is teaching. We are really lucky and privileged to have access to what she's providing. She didn't want to do it.
I didn't want to do it.
She didn't want to do it.
Yeah, if you guys want to know who twisted my arm to really push me, it was Robert, because Robert's like, Holly, you got to do this, you know. People want to know this information, your ranking, you know, nobody's going to be able to take over you anyways, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I don't want to teach. Yeah. He won on that one.
Thank you, Holly.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people saying thank you in the chat box.
That's good.
You're a star.
Yeah. I don't like the limelight. It makes me nervous. I'm like right before the webinar. I'm like, okay, do I have everything ready? I'm getting like sweaty because I'm like, I don't know if I am going to go over everything what everyone wants to hear.
You're one of us. We all know that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody. And we'll see you on Saturday and in the Facebook group. Good night.
All right. Night, guys. Did you stop it?
Stopping now. Just have to save everything first.
All right, cool.
Okay.